The slap cracked through the small grocery store like a gunshot. 7-year-old Aiden froze, his fingers still curled around the box of cereal he'd been begging for, as his mother staggered back from the blow. The man who hit her, a tall, red-faced stranger shouting about, cutting the line, didn't notice the way the entire room shifted. He didn't realize what he had just awakened. And for the first time in years, neither did she. Maya Cole touched her cheek, her breath deep and steady. She wasn't supposed to be this anymore, not the weapon she once was, not the shadow the Navy had turned her into. She'd promised herself that Aiden would never see that side of her life. He was the reason she traded battlefields for school runs, for quiet mornings and gentle nights. But the tremble in his eyes, that she couldn't ignore. "Mom," he whispered, and everything inside her hardened. Maya Cole had always been an unlikely Navy SEAL. She wasn't the tallest, the strongest, or the loudest. But she was the most relentless. Recruiters still told the story of the small woman who dragged a 210-pound instructor through sand when every muscle in her body was shaking. They talked about the way she could disappear into a forest with nothing but a knife and reappear days later with full intel. But after one mission went wrong, after she held a teammate as he died in her arms, she walked away. Aiden had just been born. The world needed fewer warriors and more mothers, she thought. She built a quiet life in a modest town where no one asked questions. She worked at the community center. She coached kids' fitness classes. She packed lunches and read bedtime stories. And she hoped her past would stay buried. But trouble has a way of finding quiet people. The man who slapped her wasn't just a stranger with a temper. His name was Brad Mercer, a local loudmouth with a mean streak and the kind of ego that needed an audience. He'd hit her because she stepped forward to help an elderly woman who'd dropped her groceries. Brad claimed she cut the line. When Maya calmly told him she didn't mind waiting, he decided that wasn't enough. After he slapped her, the store fell silent. Maya didn't hit back. She simply stood between Brad and her son and said, "We're leaving." But Brad wasn't done. He followed them into the parking lot, muttering, shouting, demanding she apologize for disrespecting him. Aiden clung to his mother's sleeve, terrified. Maya tried to de-escalate. She always tried first. But Brad stepped forward again. And this time, he reached for Aiden. He never touched him. Maya moved faster than anyone in that parking lot could process, a blur of precision and training she had spent years trying to lock away. She took Brad's wrist, twisted gently but firmly, and set him on the ground with a sweep that looked effortless. He screamed in surprise, more from shock than pain. A small crowd gathered. Some filmed, some whispered, and Aiden stared at his mother like he was seeing her for the first time. "Mom, how did you do that?" She swallowed hard. "I used to have a different job," she said softly. "A very different one." Word spread quickly in small towns, especially when a bully got humbled. But the real storm hit when Brad filed a police report claiming she attacked him unprovoked. Maya didn't panic. SEALs didn't panic. But she did worry. About Aiden, about her quiet life, about everything she built. At the station, the officers questioned her carefully. They'd seen the footage, but Brad was loud, influential, and eager for revenge. One officer asked, "Ma'am, where exactly did you learn that takedown?" Maya hesitated. Then she gave an answer she'd sworn she'd never speak again. "I served special operations." There was a long silence. "Which unit?" another asked. And because Aiden was sitting beside her, watching with wide and frightened eyes, she chose honesty. "I was a Navy SEAL." The room froze. The officers exchanged glances, ones filled with new understanding, respect, and disbelief. One even sat back and muttered, "Well, that explains it." Brad's complaint collapsed instantly. The footage showed everything. The truth carried more weight than his noise. But the moment that mattered most came afterward, when the officer led Maya and Aiden outside. Aiden didn't look scared anymore. He looked proud. That night, after she put him to bed, Aiden crawled out again and knocked on her door. "Mom," he said, "why didn't you tell me you were a hero?" She pulled him close. "I wasn't a hero, baby. I was just someone trying to protect people." "Like today?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "Like today." Aiden rested his head on her shoulder, thinking deeply, the way only children do. "Mom," he whispered, "I'm glad you're my protector." Those simple words broke her. All the walls she had built, all the guilt she carried, everything she tried to bury, it cracked open. She hugged him, her voice trembling. "I'll always protect you," she promised. But I want you to know, strength isn't just fighting. Strength is choosing peace when you can. That's what I want you to learn. Aiden nodded sleepily. But if someone tries to hurt us, you can be a seal again, right? Maya smiled, tears in her eyes. For you, always. The next day, the store manager called to apologize personally. The elderly woman Maya had helped sent a handwritten note. Parents at the community center thanked her for standing up to a bully. Even the officers checked in to assure her the matter was fully closed. The town didn't fear her. They respected her. And for the first time since leaving the teams, Maya realized something important. She didn't have to erase who she used to be a good mother. She could be both, strength and softness, protector and parent, warrior and woman. Her past wasn't something to hide from her son. It was something to teach him. In the end, the slap didn't break her. It reminded her who she truly was. And it showed her son that the quietest people often carry the loudest strength, the kind that doesn't need to shout, only stand its ground.